God is back, baby! Chapter 261 of JJK introduced one of the biggest plot twists the series has offered, with my favorite character from its series, the god himself Yuta, coming back to the battlefield using Gojo's body. Now, I have to admit, I was wrong about Gojo. I misinterpreted a lot of the hidden context clues and metaphors that Gege had laid out for us, and possibly misunderstood the meaning behind Gojo's ending. So yeah, I was wrong. But at least now our beloved king can enjoy the afterlife with his boyfriend at peace. As of now, let's analyze Yuta's current condition and what that might entail for the remaining of JJK. So, welcome everybody, I am the LXNGVX and I hope you enjoy this video. The way Yuta Gojo was able to acquire Gojo's body is by having Rika consume a part of Kenjaku's corpse, allowing him to copy his body hopping ability. With this, after he became a fraction like his teacher, Yuta made a last-ditch effort to transplant himself into Gojo's body. And the reason why I'm calling this insane plans move a last-ditch effort is for the uncertainty regarding as to how Ken's ability works. This very chapter provides us with 3 hypothetical scenarios as to how it might operate. The first one being that Ken's curse technique requires a constant activation to be maintained, and after the 5 minutes are up and Yuta can no longer manifest Rika to use his copying technique, he is going to die, because the body and the soul won't be able to be maintained, resulting in Gojo's death. The second hypothetical scenario is that Kenjaku's curse technique requires activations at irregular intervals, which would grant Yuta a little more time to live, but ultimately it would come down to pure luck. HAKARI would be proud. And the third and final one is that Ken's ability needs to be activated once in order to lose its bodies, which would allow Yuta to permanently live the rest of his days in Gojo's body. We cannot have nice things, Gege, can't we? Anyways, as to what the most likely scenario is, it is probably the first one. This is evident from our understanding of how curse techniques work, and, of course, narrative-wise, having someone as powerful as Gojo this late on the story would make for a pretty anticlimactic ending. To give you some examples regarding how curse techniques work, Gojo had to train extremely hard to make his infinity a passive ability, as evident from the hidden inventory art, which even then, the ability being passive only means that Gojo just doesn't have to put much effort in maintaining it, not that the ability itself is not being used. In addition, when Megami first successfully summoned Mahoraga in Shibuya, even though he was knocked out cold, he was put in suspended animation, as stated by Sukuna, which means that even though he was not conscious, his curse technique was still running rampant. Although, there is a piece of contradicting evidence that may suggest the third hypothetical scenario, that being Womb Profusion. Womb Profusion is a domain expansion that was first used by Kenjaku on chapter 205 against Yuki Tsukumo. This domain, despite what the name would suggest, has a guaranteed sure hit effect of Kaori's reversed curse technique, anti-gravity manipulation. Now, it isn't clear as to which individual this domain used to belong to. Some say it's Kenjaku's domain, given from the name Womb Profusion and how closely tied Kenny is to the idea of birth. Some say it's Kaori's domain from only its sure hit effect, while others believe that this is Kero's domain from its design only. To give it short, it is unclear as to which individual this domain belongs to. But, if by any chance Womb Profusion is Kenjaku's original domain, then that would suggest that the first hypothetical scenario, of Kenny to have to constantly maintain his technique, would be false, due to the fact that curse techniques become unstable and burn out after a domain expansion. So suffice to say that if that were the case, Kenjaku would have been dead long ago. But the likelihood of this being the case is pretty low when we take everything into account, so I wouldn't bet on it. Especially since having one person beat Sukuna when the core themes of the story is selflessness and the idea that one cannot overcome every adversity that comes their way all by themselves and requires support from others. So, my prediction of what is going to happen in the upcoming chapters, and the reason why Gege decided to bring Gojo's body and the limitless technique back, is for Megami to regain his will to live. I hypothesized in my creepily outdated It's Not Gojo's Over video that one of the many reasons that Gojo might be returning to the series is for Megami to feel his father's figure's curse technique and gain the determination to fight back against Sukuna. Well, I believe that is sort of what is going to happen here, with Yuta entering multiple domain classes with Sukuna until he finally expands Infinite Void before him, just like Gojo did in their fight. After that, Sukuna will engrave the effect of Infinite Void into Megami's soul in order to avoid damage. Megami feeling his father figure's curse technique, he's going to start regaining his will to live and fighting spirit. And with a decisive blow, Yuji is going to shake Sukuna's soul, breaking the link between him and Megami, thus bringing him into the battlefield. Yuta, as much as it pains me to say, will die shortly after, giving the King of Curses the advantage once more, and introducing us to the final showdown where Yuji, Megami, Todo, and Maki, yes, I believe she's still standing, will fight against Sukuna. Well, them and one other character. If you've seen my It's Not God's Over video, you know that I believe that one more character is going to return to the battlefield. A character that I believe will play a significant role in Megami's return, which I purposely neglected to mention, and with Todo's return, I think her return is all the more likely at this point. Of course, I am talking about Nobara Kugisaki. Nobara is a character that we have been unsure about her condition for a long time, with Gege using Nita to possibly foreshadow her return since Shibuya, and I believe now more than ever is going to be the best opportunity to bring her back in the story. Take my hypothetical scenario, that after some domain classes, Yuta is going to expand Infinite Void before Sukuna can react. Also, look at this thing, it's going to crumble on its own. Well, what if Megami getting hit by Infinite Void is not enough for him to regain his determination, and Sukuna somehow is able to chant for a word-cutting slash that is about to kill both Hyuji and Yuta. But, at the last second, two cursed energy nails pierce Sukuna's and Megami's soul. Remember, it was established in Shibuya by Mahito that Kugisaki's throw doll technique actively damages the soul, which means that due to Megami and Sukuna sharing one body, and we know that the body and the soul are linked with one another, Megami is going to 100% feel and recognize Nobara's ability. This by extension is going to further motivate him to regain his will by having a close friend, which he thought she was dead, being alive and well. Additionally, Gege stated that either one of our main characters is going to die, or only one is going to survive, and having Gojo's dream of creating a powerful and uniting new generation of sorcerers, where nobody is alone and nobody is burdened with the title of the strongest, is a really beautiful way of ending the series. One that inspires cooperation, trust, and companionship, while no one's selfish desires prevail, but rather the selfish desire to protect, nurture, and care about your fellow human prevails. One that wouldn't allow someone like Geto to go down such path, because everyone would have been there to support him, rather than not realize the pain and suffering he's going through due to the isolation of being the strongest. If only Gojo dies, the idea of the single strongest is over, and the world he envisioned is going to come to fruition. That is why, in my It's Not Gojo Over video, I specifically stated that I believe that Gojo would not come back with a 6 eyes, because he would still represent and be the strongest. So, with all of that out of the way, I am pretty sure that Nobara is going to come back to the series in the near future. I don't think it's going to be literally next chapter, as either we're going to have at least a 5 to 7 chapter fight between Yuta and Sukuna, with the climax being Yuta's death, Megami regaining his will to live, and Nobara returning. Also, I must say that we are going to finally get the Hakari vs Urame fight, either right before or right after the Yuta vs Sukuna fight. I want to believe that Yuta may survive this, since he is my favorite character, but judging from all the information we have accumulated, sadly I do not think that's going to be the case. But what do you think is going to happen in the upcoming chapters? Please tell me in the comments below. I am quite interested of what you can come up with. And if you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I would appreciate it a lot. So, I thank everyone who watched this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!